Now, in order to use this lever effectively, we need to have an active takeoff stride, which is why we have this pulling takeoff and this strength and stability in the takeoff leg. What we're trying to do is to minimize knee flexion at takeoff so that we can use the elastic energy stored in our patellar tendon and our Achilles tendon to lift us through the jump. If we have a passive takeoff, we're going to have this falling onto the takeoff, this yielding of the knee and of the hip, and therefore we have to use our muscles to push, and by the time we come to push, we've missed our takeoff position and we've not used our lever at all. Even worse is if we come into the takeoff in too high a position where we can't actively strike the ground to generate height, so instead we put our toe down ahead of the body, and then we have to yield at the ankle, yield at the knee, ready to push, and we've missed our takeoff position, missed our lever, and our feet are stuck behind us. So it's important to have this flat foot and a strong flat foot takeoff through the takeoff. Now we know that we want to have minimum knee flexion in the takeoff so we can use our elastic component to generate height in the jump. But how do we know when we've got the timing right? Well, we should see that we start in this 30-degree angle with our front leg, and then as we move through the jump, we're going to get this knee flexion, and we're going to try and minimize this as much as possible. But when the shin gets to vertical, this is the time when we should start to see our extension. And when we time this with our run of our shoulders over the hip and over the ankle, we'll see that we get this contortion, we run the chest over, and as we extend, should bring us through to this nice neutral position that we want to see in the air. So the timing of the jump relies on having this extension starts happening from the knee when the shin gets to vertical, and that the chest runs over the hips and reaches a neutral position at toe off.